I lost it all. My business, my home, even the woman I thought was the love of my life. It all vanished in what felt like a single, devastating tidal wave. One moment, I was Liam, the tech entrepreneur everyone wanted to be. The next, I was just Liam, standing on a street corner with a single suitcase and a phone that wouldn't stop buzzing with angry investors. It started subtly, a missed payment here, a delayed product launch there. I was so caught up in the hustle, so sure of my own genius, that I ignored the cracks forming in the foundation of my empire. My company, Innovate, was my baby. I poured my soul into it, building it from a garage startup into a multi-million-dollar valuation. I remember the day my CFO, Marcus, a man I'd trusted for a decade, sat me down. His face was pale. "Liam, we have a problem." "A big one." I waved him off. "Problems are just opportunities in disguise, Marcus. We pivot, we adapt." But this wasn't an opportunity. It was a sinkhole. It turned out Marcus had been cooking the books for years, siphoning funds into a shadow company. By the time the auditors figured it out, Innovate was a hollow shell. The news broke, and the fallout was immediate. The board forced me out, my assets were frozen, and then came the final blow. My fiancée, Chloe, packed her bags. She looked at me, her eyes cold, and said, "I signed up for success, Liam, not this." That night, I walked the city streets for hours, the weight of my failure pressing down on me. I ended up in a dusty, forgotten part of town I never knew existed. Defeated, I found an old, worn-out bench in a small, neglected park. This was it. Rock bottom. I had nothing left. I had lost everything. As I sat there, consumed by despair, an old man shuffled over. He had kind, wrinkled eyes and a gentle smile. He was carrying a small, battered wooden box. "Rough night, son?" he asked, his voice raspy but warm. I just nodded, unable to speak. He sat beside me, not saying anything for a long time, just sharing the silence. Finally, he placed the wooden box on the bench between us. "My grandfather gave me this," he said. "He told me it holds the most valuable thing in the world." Curiosity, a feeling I thought had died in me, flickered to life. I looked at the box. It was plain, unadorned, with a simple latch. "What's inside?" I asked. The old man chuckled. "That's for you to find out. But you can only open it when you truly believe you have nothing left to lose." He stood up, patted my shoulder, and said, "I have a feeling you're just about there. The box is yours now." And with that, he walked away, disappearing into the twilight. I stared at the box for what felt like an eternity. It seemed absurd, a magic box from a strange old man, but what did I have to lose? My fingers trembled as I reached for the latch. I took a deep breath, picturing everything that had crumbled around me: the money, the prestige, Chloe. I had nothing. With a click, the latch sprung open. I lifted the lid, my heart pounding, expecting to see gold, or a deed, or some secret formula. Inside, there was only a single, folded piece of paper. My shoulders slumped. Of course, it was a joke. A cruel trick. Angrily, I snatched the paper and unfolded it. On it, written in elegant, faded ink, were just 5 words: "You still have your name." I stared at those words. You still have your name. My name, Liam. The name my parents gave me. The name I'd built, and the name I'd seen dragged through the mud. But it was still mine. It wasn't tied to a bank account or a company or another person. It was the one thing no one could take from me. It was the foundation. In that moment, something shifted inside me. The crushing weight on my chest began to lift. I didn't become a millionaire overnight. The road back was long and incredibly difficult. I took odd jobs, slept on couches, and swallowed my pride more times than I can count. I started small, using my skills to help local businesses build their websites for a fraction of what I used to charge. I wasn't building an empire. I was building relationships. I was rebuilding my name, not on a foundation of profit, but on a foundation of integrity and trust. Slowly, things started to turn around. Word of my work spread. One client led to another. I never saw the old man again, but I kept that little wooden box on my desk. It was a constant reminder. A reminder that when you lose everything you think defines you, you are finally free to discover who you truly are. You find out that your value isn't in what you have, but in who you are. The most valuable thing you possess is the one thing you were born with and the one thing you'll die with: your name. And the character you built on it. That's the treasure. That's the story that changed my life forever. Thanks for watching.